It's indeed an honor and a pleasure to have you here, and I can tell you that this indeed is going to be a life-changing experience. I can certainly remember the day when I went from being a college student to being what I considered at least a scholar. It was a matter of a mental perception of why I was in college, and it has led me in directions that I've never thought. When learning became an exciting goal, instead of something I did to get 3 hours of college credit or a grade, I became a scholar. One of the definitions of a scholar is one considered in the light of his aptness or her aptness for learning. I discovered that learning was both challenging and exciting, and that I liked it. It has served me well, as it will you. Matriculation is defined as to be admitted to a group, especially at a college or university. The word is not used so much today as it was in the past, and there are probably quite a few people that don't even know what it means. However, it is important to all of us, as it will be to you, as you begin a journey that will lead you, I guarantee it, in unexpected ways. When I first enrolled in college, I knew only one thing. I wanted a college degree. Later, I became interested in graduate school, and then even later in becoming a college professor. When I first entered, I could never have envisioned either of these two directions. It all started with matriculation. We're extremely proud of our honors college, and you have a great opportunity as only the 9th class to enter this program. I know the courses and the experiences that you will have will enrich your lives here at the university. Congratulations to all of you as you begin this exciting journey.
Before I introduce the speaker, I'd like to thank some people. The Honors College, of course, is a cooperative enterprise. First, of course, is David Wingfield, our assistant. Basically, nothing gets done without him, so I'd like to thank him. We also have a graduate student, Suraj Namdar, who is working on all of our web stuff and our app stuff. Lily Hollinsworth, who's our student worker. Ina Bageva, who takes pictures for us. And, of course, Aramark for providing the refreshments, although I still haven't seen a check for $700,000. I'd also like to recognize some people here en masse, if you would. There are some faculty here who teach for the Honors College. I'd like them to stand up and be recognized at this point. Over here. Okay. Thank you very much. And also we have several members of our Honors Council. These are community members from Southwest Arkansas who give of their time, energy, effort, and money to help the Honors College. I'd like them to stand up now at this point as well. I want to ask you a couple of questions, at least one question. What do a United
students and the quality of the campuses, but also in every other academic measure. The quality of the faculty, the quality of the incoming classes, all have seen great growth under his leadership, and I appreciate Dr. Rankin very, very much. I am proud to get to address each and every one of you. It is true that I was the youngest Attorney General of the United States. By the way, I'm proud to address all of y'all too. I just can't see you. I may get the lavalier mic and walk over there. It's whatever. I'm not the youngest Attorney General of the United States anymore. You know, the congressman that yelled out, "You lie," during the State of the Union last year or 2 years ago, his son got elected Attorney General in South Carolina. So Attorney General Wilson is officially 6 months younger than I am. So he is now the youngest Attorney General of the United States. So I get to take that off of my curriculum vitae. But I've still had the great privilege of serving this state as your AG, now going on 5 years. And it's been a real privilege. Higher education, of course, is an area of the state that I think we should be very proud of. I think that we have seen enormous growth as we have reached out to our students in high school and given them better core classes so that they are better equipped to go to college. We have done a number of things to try and improve the quality and accessibility of our higher education institutions, including satellite campuses and working to keep tuition affordable. I will tell you that the lottery has been a very interesting and controversial aspect to higher education in Arkansas. I remember debating how I was going to vote on it, literally right up until the day of the election. I wound up voting for it, and several times I have thought to myself how much I've regretted doing that, but I also know that there's an awful lot of young people in Arkansas who are getting scholarships as a result of the lottery. And so I try and focus on the good side of it, and I want to make sure that we do all that we can to increase accessibility to higher education. You are very special as a group. I assume that this group behind you represents family members, faculty, concerned adults who want to see you succeed. I'm sure that they all have someplace else that they could be this Sunday afternoon, but they're here because they care about you and they want you to have the best possible opportunities available to you. You have already worked hard to rise above all of the other incoming freshmen in one way or another. It doesn't mean there aren't high quality, high caliber students out there in this freshman class, but you have worked hard to distinguish yourselves. Your ACT scores, your high school GPA, your efforts in extracurricular activities, your student leadership, going out and getting letters of recommendation from high caliber individuals, and of course your commitment to keeping your grades up and going for much more aggressive curriculum programs than you would have to do. You can get a degree without doing all of the things that you are going to subject yourself to doing for the next 4 years. But 9 years ago, Dr. Rankin and the faculty came together and recognized that this institution needs an honors program. Why? Not because this institution needs it, but the cream of the crop of students coming through here need it. Why? Why does it matter? What is the point? Is it that you get a better job, make more money, have something else in Latin hanging on your wall when you get out of here? What's really ultimately the point? Well, that's what I want you to think about. I will tell you that they told me I could talk for 30 minutes. Every one of you are at least eligible to vote, and I hope sooner or later you register to do so, and I don't want to lose every vote in the room, so I promise I'm not going to talk for 30 minutes. What I am going to say is that the world is changing underneath our feet, and we in Arkansas have had the privilege of being a little bit insulated and not seeing all of it as starkly as it really is. We have endured this economic recession much more steadily than the rest of the country. We're one of only 4 states in the union with a balanced budget. People have been asking me, how is it you do that in Arkansas? And I said, well, it's pretty simple. We spend less money than we take in. It works every single time. If God forbid they would do that in Washington, D.C., the whole country would be better off. If other states would do that, they would be better off. But because we have seen ourselves conservatively manage our money, focus on higher education, not undercut the education that each and every one of you got if you are an Arkansas student in K through 12, we are poised to take advantage of the country and the economy when we come out of this economic circumstance. Now, there are some of us who are deeply committed to seeing that happen. I have committed my entire adult life to seeing Arkansas succeed as compared to the rest of the country. And if you look back over the last 40 years and you saw how North Carolina and Georgia outpaced the rest of the South and outpaced indeed the rest of the country, there is no reason in the world that Arkansas cannot and should not do that. Who is going to do it? You. All of you. It is our obligation as public officials. It is our obligation as the generation ahead of you. It is our obligation as your parents to make sure that we do all that we can to put those opportunities in your hands, but no one can do it for you. No one can study for you. No one can work for you. No one can reach inside you and make you care about the issues in the world around you. No one can do that for you. No one can make you go to church anymore. No one can make you have faith in the Lord above. No one can do those things for you. You have to be who you are. And you have to think about what it is you want to do for the world around you. So this last week, I had the great privilege of going to visit my most famous predecessor, Bill Clinton, in New York City, and went to the Clinton Global Initiative, which every year the Clinton Foundation puts on this program in New York, and literally global leaders and thinkers come from around the planet to engage in creative problem solving. And not even so much problem solving as thinking about trying to create solutions to implement when they go back home to do whatever it is that they do. What is it that you're going to be doing in the Honors College? Problem solving. Increased cognitive curriculum so that you can engage in more creative, real-world, 21st century problem solving. I had the privilege this week of sitting with heads of state. I was in a room that had the president of Chile, the president of Finland, the president of Rwanda, the former president of Northern Ireland, and Secretary of State Clinton. And what were they talking about? They're talking about fast-moving technology. They're talking about the role of women in our society and girls in our world. As a father of a little girl, and I recognize that she has the same kind of opportunities that you do, I also recognize that there are girls around the world who do not have those same opportunities, do not have the same liberties or self-worth or recognition of their role in society. We talked about slavery. Slavery is unfortunately still alive and well in this world. There are people who are conscripted into working for others, whether it's in India or Malaysia or Africa or Europe or right here in North America. And how is it that we are participants in that? Well, there are ways to go online and look and see the clothing that you buy, the supply chains for major products, things that come from around the world that in reality they're as cheap when they get to Arkansas as they are because fair market wages were not paid somewhere for someone to do the work or to create the product. These are real-world issues that your generation is going to have to take on and that my generation has to tee up for you. They said that in a representative sample, the president of Cisco, CEO of Cisco Systems, spoke. And he said that in a recent survey done by the technology industry in the United States, if I were to sample all of you sitting here, a sizable percentage of college freshmen think that it is more important to update their Facebook than it is to interact with other students in reality. I don't know how many of you have Facebook accounts, but I bet that it's probably all of you. We thought that the world was flat when Mr. Friedman wrote his book 5 years ago about interconnecting on this planet. We didn't know anything about interconnection just 5 years ago. Students that went to college 4 and 5 years ago didn't have Twitter, they didn't have Facebook, they didn't connect the way that you do now. What will it be like? What will it be like when you graduate? So what is it that you are here to do? Yes, you are here to have fun. Yes, you are here to meet your fellow mule riders and build a spirit about you that causes you to love this institution, love this community, love this state, and love each other. You are required to study. You are required, well, not required, you can not do it if you want to, but you have an obligation imposed upon you to study, to work hard, and to learn. But cognitive thinking, truly engaging in modern problem solving, because it is your generation that is seeing the population grow, resources dwindle, and the challenges compound. Now that doesn't mean you ought to be scared to death of adulthood, because you know what? I'm not scared for the next 100 years. I'm not scared for my daughter. I'm 100% convinced that the best days for this state and the best days for this nation and even this world are yet to come. I think that our problems have solutions right around the corner because I believe in this generation. I believe that you can think of ways to do things differently that all of us haven't thought of. But that's what you're here for. And if it doesn't excite you to think that one of you is going to be an engineer, and one of you is going to be a scientist, and one of you is going to be a doctor, and one of you is going to be a lawyer, and one of you is going to go to Asia and work on improving the lot of women and children, and one of you is going to make something that makes a fortune, and you're going to create a foundation with your wealth and do something to help other people that didn't have the opportunities that you've had. If you don't think about what's laying beyond the next 4 years, but rather in what's in the rest of your life, then you're really missing the forest for the trees. So I tell you that I'm here because on behalf of the state of Arkansas, and frankly on behalf of the next generation of public officials, I'm excited about the next generation of Arkansans. I'm extraordinarily proud of you. I know who you are, I know what you're capable of, and I'm telling you, I know even more than you do about where you're going. This is a big world, and it is waiting for each and every one of you. Go out there and make us all proud. God bless you.
Thank you so much for those remarks. We really appreciate them. Right now, it's my privilege to introduce to you individually the members of this class. So if you'll bear with me here, I'm going to try not to butcher any names. I've been practicing, and I'm about to push the podium off the stage here. All right, so this is unrehearsed, by the way. All right. So let me first introduce to you Prashant Acharya. And let's hold our applause to the end. I don't want to stop 56 times, 60 times, okay? Next is Courtney Anderson. Justin Ballard. Michelle Beavers. James Brinkley. Emily Bowling. David Campbell. Jesse Castleberry. Jordan Chapman. Lacey Cobb. Isabella Curbello. Taylor Duke. Nevin Edmondson. Sarah Emerson. Brian Falcoff.
Angelica Francis, Jimmy Franklin, Chelsea Fowler, Constance Gaddis, Colby Goki, Jacob Goff, Lacey Guy, Joshua Hamilton, Jayin Howe, Annette Haran, Emily Haydell, Lily Hill, Kyung John, Morgan Johnson, Shubhashri Kadka, Terrence Lee, CJ Liu, Ryan Mahalona, Daley Marsh, Cheyenne Meyer, Robert Morris, Florence Nunn, Kara O'Neill, Adrian Oglesby, James Owens, Caleb Parks, Courtney Phillips, Haley Pinson, James Plump, Sawyer Sams, Sabir Shakya, Amy Sorsby, Taryn Sorsby, Sue Ann Town, Rachel Tanner, Taylor Townsend, Hannah Trout, Garrett Walker, Adam Wall, Lorraine Walton, Rachel Wedrington, Zoe White, Rachel Winchell, Zichao Yang, Jessica Ziegler. How about a big hand for her?
Now, we'd like to read these names again in 4 years. We'd like to read these names again in 4 years and say the magic words, graduate of the Honors College. Now, I don't know if they all know, but I don't know if the rest of you know what being a graduate of the Honors College entails. First of all, it entails keeping a 3.25 grade point average. It also entails taking 24 hours minimum of honors courses. And so one of the things that David and I have to do is to constantly monitor their progress. We have to make sure that they're not running out of time in order to get the 24 hours in before time comes for graduation. So it's a privilege to be in the Honors College. We're happy to have you here, and we want you to succeed. For the parents, we want to thank you for first sending them to Southern Arkansas University. We believe that we have if not the best.